513 gears, aux locker, and chromoly shafts in my Dana 44. Begin. Well, it's definitely a limited slip. Track lock. Okay, so I bought these. These are setup bearings for the carrier and a setup race for the pinion. But these master shims on this axle were on the outside of the carrier. And there were no shims under the carrier bearings. So do I not need these? Alright, it's been a few days since I started this. I got stuck. This new ring gear is drilled for 3/8 bolts, and my rebuild kit came with 7/16 bolts. It's a Revolution ring and pinion, and it's a Revolution Master Rebuild kit, and the bolts don't fit. So I went to Summit Racing, and I got some 3/8 bolts. These are actually smaller, so for whatever reason, the bolts on this ring and pinion are a downgrade from stock. So I don't understand the logic behind that, or why the wrong bolts, the big bolts, came with it in the rebuild kit. So I don't know. I'm gonna get this all. I'm gonna get all the new stuff put together now. Whenever I get this in the differential and I have a way to hold it, I'll take these back out one at a time, put red Loctite on them, and then torque them. These shims go on the outside, so I can go ahead and press the real bearings on, and I don't need to use setup bearings. So I have these for no reason, basically. Gotta go way deeper. Alright, I took it in and out twice and I got this pattern, so I'm gonna run with it. Some guys might want to try to perfect that, but I think that's more than good enough. Well, it's 22 already. That might be fine. Perfect. Alright, this is all put back together. I didn't film all of that because it was taking forever and is a huge pain in the butt. I hate diffs or carriers that have the shims on the outside of the carrier bearings because they get just annihilated if you're not careful. I mean, look at that. It's ridiculous. So I got this done. This is all to spec. This is the final pattern. It looks really good. I got the caps tightened and torqued. I've got the preload on the carrier bearings as tight as I can get, you know, without ruining more shims. I did buy these after doing my 8.8. These are specifically for hammering these shims in on the outside right here. They fit perfect. Yeah, this fits perfect around the shim like that. And this made it way easier, but it was still really, really tedious. So this is done. I'm gonna get the tubes cleaned up on the ends and get the axle shafts in, diff cover on, gear oil, drive shaft. Done. Brakes. Everything else. Alright, so these are the cheapest chromoly shafts I could find for the rear. These are from East Coast Gear Supply. They might be their brand, or like their branded axle. Okay. So the shafts are different on a TJ in terms of length. So the left side shaft on a TJ 44 is shorter than the passenger side. And they have tags on these, which correspond correctly. So this is the passenger side, this is the driver's side. And they've already they're fully assembled already with the, you know, the bearings and the seals and the locking plate and everything. Everything looks greased already. The studs are in already. So I'm just gonna throw them in. There we go. Alright, so initial break-in, it seems to be okay. It's driving really well. It's got a lot more get up and go than it did, that's for sure. Some people question me going to 513s with this Jeep, but the Jeep is only on 31s currently, and it's totally drivable as it is, so I think that was a good decision, especially before I put the 35s on it, which will probably be the next video, because I'm ready to drive it around with 35s. I can't wait to see what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Next video will be the 35s. I've got another project in here. This one's not a Jeep, but it is something that I think is pretty cool. Don't know if I'm going to make videos about it, but I do have some work that I want to do to it. And I'm still collecting parts for the YJ, so more to come.